Oh, hold on. I see something else popping up on my screen. Oh,
we're live.
welcome everyone. I'm just going to quickly check my Facebook account here just to make sure that we're up and live and running. Yeesh, that was a little bit more bigger of a hassle there for the tech issue. Going live in the Facebook group is something a little bit new for us anyways. Again, let me just quickly check. Okay, so we're all live in the group. So welcome again. And if you're watching the replay, welcome to you too. And if you want to just hashtag replay so that we know that you're watching the replay. So welcome to episode 3 of Sacred Soul Sparkles, which is a divine series where we're going to be speaking into the new ways of creating spiritual luxury in your inner and of course your outer worlds. And today we're going to be sharing about how we found a certain frequency, which we call the boss bitch frequency, which we feel is definitely the earthly words of this frequency that we found and discovered, and which we began to embody. So if you don't know us that well, this language is definitely not in our vocabulary, right, Mom? Like,
oh no, we go from angelic to this. It's like, woo.
Yeah.
It was huge. It was a huge shift. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So that's why we're going to share with you about the frequency versus this word. But it was a bit ago that our mentor had shared with us that this frequency, or she didn't call it the frequency, just the boss bitch, I guess, I don't know, energetics behind it was missing within us. So we didn't really resonate with these words, but we understood that it was a certain frequency that we needed to embody to assist us in moving forward and just becoming more in our divine authority and just a little bit different, bold and other frequencies. So what we began to do is we began to look up the definition of what boss bitch is labeled under in the dictionary. So I'll read it to you what we found online. It is a confident, successful, and independent woman who speaks her mind and stands up for what she believes in. She keeps it 100% real with everyone, sets boundaries, and isn't afraid to go after what she wants. She is unique, courageous, and fierce. Her dreams are big, but her ambition is bigger. She is an advocate for the empowerment of women and knows that a strong mindset and putting herself first is for the betterment of everyone and everything around her. Her positive energy, charisma, and drive to succeed make her an influential leader, role model, and mentor to other women. She is a force to be reckoned with and can be intimidating by afar, but once you get to know her, you'll realize that she could be loving, caring, confident, and your own personal cheerleader. So when we read that description, now the words in between here and the meaning of it was starting to resonate a little bit more deeper. Do you agree, or how were you feeling at that time?
Absolutely, because all those words that you described is what we had to become in order to where we're heading for our next offer, right? We have to become all that within inside of us, and we have to carry it forward as we walk more forward.
Yeah, so I would say for myself, there was a little bit shift of an integration in becoming this frequency, like an understanding that this is the frequency that we're moving into, but it definitely wasn't a full anchoring of this frequency for surely, right? Like, you know, like we were still on the lookout for it, but we also at the same time let it go. We just thought, you know, this is a frequency that we're moving towards, but we'll just let it go and see what happens and takes place. So I think it was around the end of July that we were really speaking to Krystalline Ascension and to see what Krystalline Ascension wanted to do. And it was all about offering a next masterclass. And we're new to master classes. It would have been only our 3rd master class. And so we thought, okay, fine, we'll do a master class and see where this brings us, you know, and really moving forward with listening to Krystalline Ascension and really moving into that little bit of boldness. And upon when we were receiving all the registrations, we were guided in receiving messages about the ones who were coming into our masterclass at that time. And they were etheric messages and physical messages, that they were the solar dragon queens, the primordial creatrixes coming in. I was walking through the forest one day, and I was kind of just trying to get in tune about this masterclass. And in the forest, I posted about this. In the forest was a beautiful dragon head. And I had asked that dragon head, it was all created out of like old tree bark, and the way it shifted. Anyways, it then spoke about the solar dragon queens coming in and how important this was, and how this beautiful tree was basically a dragon earth elder, reminding us that we were working with the etheric solar dragon queens that were coming in. You were also receiving messages at that time. Do you remember what they were? I can't remember what you were receiving at that time, but it was very aligned.
Right. I don't remember though.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to see.
Just because I see a lot of visuals. So
Yes.
for me, it was more like the fire within inside of us, right? There was like a burning inside that needed to be released. I get my messages when I'm on a walk, where Alicia gets a lot in her shower, right?
Yes.
A lot of my messages were coming out for me for a walk, and as the sun glows down upon me, this is where I really received the downloads. And it was really the fire dragon that was raising its voice to become the solar dragon, to start listening and receiving. Oh, and I saw the turtle, the primordial turtle.
Yes, that's what it was. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
All right. So that we knew that we were working with that primordial energy, really, right? That really ancient energy. And when we think about the creatrix, we also think about her as a primordial divine feminine in creating a lot of high vibrational frequencies here. So then we were guided to offer an initiation. But at that time, it was really truly invisible. And that's why we called it the invisible gateway, because the energy wasn't really showing us everything who was coming together in this gateway. But we knew that we had to offer this sacred offering out and to call in the solar dragon queens that wanted to be initiated into this frequency. So it was very small details we were working with. So we were working with very unknown details, whether it be for the masterclass or for the initiation, but we were stepping fully into this unknown frequency. And we noticed at that time, once one beautiful divine feminine stepped in and then another one stepped in, we knew at that time that that was complete. It created a beautiful sacred initiation ceremony that was something on a personal level for us to initiate our own inner solar dragon queen. And it was also, you would say, planetary, also to actually rebirth the solar dragon queen frequency out. Something else was coming in that I want to share. If you want to share anything about that.
Yeah, when we had to really step into the invisible gateway, is what we called it. This is the first time actually for Alicia and I that we really went in with not knowing what is going to happen. We really had to trust and go into that frequency of uncertainty and really allow uncertainty to be our friend, and really begin to trust it and welcome it and be excited over it. And amazingly enough, it was also the first time that we went into like a mastermind or an initiation with minimal scripting. We really allowed ourselves to go fully within inside of us and just receive what needed to be received. So even as we're doing the invisible gateway, little did we know of how much we're growing within inside of it as well, right?
Yeah. And I think that reminded me when you were saying the first time, it was actually, usually we don't usually put out any offerings that we haven't really embodied ourselves with first. So this was our first time ever moving forward with an initiation that we would be initiated at the same time as these two other beautiful divine feminines as well. So that was new for us, because usually we embody everything before we put out an offer. But this was telling us, no, 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 you're going to need to embody this at the exact same time, be initiated at the exact same time. And lo and behold, we were holding certain, you could say, pieces of this solar dragon frequency to really amplify and rebirth her within inside of us. And we were each holding, you could say, a part of the element within her to create that elemental body within her: fire, earth, air, and water. And we're also known to have an elemental body within us. So in order for us to feel whole inside our elemental body, this elemental body of the solar dragon queen needed to feel whole and be whole as well. So we went through a beautiful initiation ceremony, initiating that solar dragon queen frequency within us. And I think that was a really big shift for us in becoming and feeling and actually attuning and remembering that boldness, that powerful, authoritative, and really claiming this frequency. And I feel that that's where the anchoring came in, and feeling really empowered. And yes, I'm just trying to think what else. This frequency felt huge. It felt magnetic. It felt so divinely powerful, but also in the same way, it felt loving and compassionate, and that beautiful, nurturing, divine feminine frequency, all combined into one frequency. Mom, I don't know if you really...
It was like an honor and a blessing all at the same time, right? Because as we were being initiated with ourselves, we were really releasing and holding that space. We were also holding the space for the awakening of the solar dragon queens, you know, that will be awakening on the surface. So it was like a cooperation, like a co-creation of togetherness, of divine unity, and it was just a marvel to have witnessed it for the first time with these two other beautiful souls, right? That little did we know what was going to be happening.
Yeah, it was definitely magical. But I felt that this frequency definitely kept pushing us forward, pushing us to step up, to step out, to really step into that, our creatrix, and also into more of our leadership as that new earth leader. It really pushed us forward. It kept moving us forward, and to really share this frequency, not just, yes, we've started to embody this frequency and utilize it and harness it, and also really wanting to be able to weave this into out into create that new earth frequency out there. But when we look at I don't know if my computer's glitching. Do you hear that as well? Okay. It could be just my computer. When we're looking at our legacy, if we look at that as the top of the umbrella, and Mom, you were saying that metaphor, the umbrella, and each strand is a different mission. So we had felt that this awakening of our solar dragon queen was a strand. It was a beautiful sacred soul sparkle that led us to a really sacred mission that goes back up to amplify our legacy and creating more of our legacy out into the world. And just to remember that we are always just the vessels of these frequencies coming in and wanting to be shared and downloaded and encoded. But this reawakened our royalty codes. This was a divine feminine royal essence that came in. I'm just reading the energy. Sometimes other words want to come through as I'm speaking, so I really have to step outside there. But what they were showing me little visuals, if you want to imagine that we have all these specks of royalty codes, or all these specks of this dragon solar queen frequency. And what we really did was really unlock all these like different kind of codes inside of us that really allowed them to lighten up and shine bright. And that's what we're doing. We're illuminating this frequency within us that illuminates it out into the outside reality. But after this is when, Mom, do you have anything else to share before I move forward?
Yeah, no, you're doing great. You're sharing I'm feeling into the frequency as well, and that fire is becoming alive, and it's becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's not like as like anybody listening here knows what it's like to receive those codes, right? Whether it's the wisdom keys, whether it's the luxurious keys, whatever codes and keys that we are receiving, be humble that you've received it, but it doesn't stop there. It keeps growing into your muscles. You have to allow it to grow into your muscles. You have to allow it to become you, and you have to walk forward with it. It's not like a one-time thing. Yay, I received this cold, or I received this. No, it's what like you were divinely blessed with, and how are you going to take it forward and share it with everybody else in the world who wants a part of it, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Because it is unlocking what Eva and I like to call the soul legacy keys. It's your soul legacy keys, which is all that magic inside of you, your magic, your medicines, and your masteries. And of course, again, your missions that go along with your legacy and weaving your legacy. You're going to have all these beautiful, first of all these raindrops, which are your sacred soul sparkles, and then your umbrella, which is all your different missions that you're going to have to go on and really put out there to create that really massive legacy for you to weave on a physical level, but also on a etheric level as well, because it's a little bit different. But on an outer reality, or out in the physical, what this frequency did for us is, and it didn't just do this for Eva and I, as well as other two beautiful souls that joined us and gathered with us and awakened their solar dragon queen. We were all experiencing more soul line clients, more magnetism, very potent and vivid downloads. And basically, a lot of wealth had shifted for us. We stepped into more of that leadership role. Even if it was on an inner frequency level, we stepped into that leadership on an inner, which will manifest and actualize in the outer, right? It comes in the inner first, but we were all stepping into that leadership role, and we were becoming, if we were invisible before, they were becoming more visible. Is there anything else that do you remember?
Yeah,
Instant.
Yeah, because it was a beautiful ripple effect, right? It wasn't just like, it was like ping, 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 ping. And it was, even our husbands got the ping of it, right? You saw the ripple effect everywhere. And more so, you saw it in, like, for you and I, is taking more action, stepping more into that leadership role where we weren't having the power, like that's one of our strengths that we are stepping into now, and becoming more masters of our leadership role, and just feeling it inside of us and letting it grow inside of us, and into, like I said, always our muscles. We have to grow these muscles so that we can move forward and share that light. And what we did is we stopped, we really released the breadcrumbs from ourselves, right? And we, instead of the breadcrumbs, we started paving the light to crystalline ascension into us with beautiful lights, beautiful lanterns, so that people could find us more easier, and so that we could see more clearer. So it was like what we're seeing out, but we're also receiving what we're putting out there now.
Yeah, it was definitely that really bold momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I feel that that's really what activated, or what you talked about before, was that inner fire that really activated that part of momentum and magnetism and that boldness. I feel like that was the huge word that came to me, was bold. Be bold. You know what I mean? And everything that we were doing is, and really stepping outside of ourselves now, really getting into what is this mission? What is our legacy that wants to come through? What is Krystalline Ascension wanting, like, that wants to express itself through us, and really stepping outside of our human self? Because on our human self, we could put so many different projections and so many covers and masks on ourselves, that we had to really step out of the way in order for these frequencies to really come through, because they are so very, very, very potent and powerful, and so needed at this time. Could you imagine everyone stepping into their solar dragon queen essence, and really feeling those luxurious royal wealth codes come into their body, and aligning with that, and on that inner self, what that will do as a leader of New Earth? If we're all stepping into this really bold and beautiful divine feminine, this is the primordial divine feminine frequency, right? It's we've talked about it before. It's all about, as well, not only becoming that leader, but it's becoming that leader and rising together in that sacred leadership and that sacred sisterhood and really coming in together in that circle. And we're all rising as these beautiful queens, and we're all holding these different parts of the puzzle and the different missions, and creating this overall legacy of heaven on earth. But we have our own sacred legacy to weave as well. Anything else?
Yeah.
I thought you wanted to say something.
Then no, as we were moving forward and as we spoke about it, and for many people listening on the replay, probably most likely can resonate with this, is our shape shifting, how we have been shape shifting without even knowing it. Like I was the lion, like, I loved the lion. Everything had to be the lion, like the courageousness, the roar, everything. And then it came to and that's been like for decades. And then about 2 years ago, it was the phoenix. The powerful phoenix was rising inside of us, right? We were turning things to ashes, and we were just letting things die. And then we were reawakening with the beautiful white and gold phoenix. And now it shifted into the solar queen dragon, right? And then when I was walking, I was like the solar queen dragon, but I had the lion roar in my throat. So it's like the three of them we're now working together, and it's like, we don't know what we're going to shape into next time, right? But we are where we are right now, and we're going to live it to the fullest potential that we could possibly can in our human bodies now.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I love the word shape shifting, because everyone, and as a lot of other words, are definitely having a new meaning, a new frequency at a higher perspective, because it wasn't until White Buffalo Catwoman had come and delivered that message as a reminder of that I am a shapeshifter too, from that beautiful white buffalo to a divine feminine, right? Where everyone is, how she shapeshifted into different frequencies and timelines and realities. That's what we're doing right now, as Eva said. And another added onto that was, why not? When we first began this, we were really into the frequency of the creatrix. We've always really, really done that. But as we were doing the Solar Dragon Queen frequency and offering, we noticed it was a year ago that we had done
Goddess emergence.
Okay, it was the goddess emergence. It was like a whole month of just awakening the goddess within, and how we didn't really receive that that same message, I guess you could say, or that same reciprocated frequency. We were putting out that goddess frequency, and there was nothing really coming back of that, really, that goddess. And then at one point, even before that, I think we were talking about the priestess, and that really didn't really resonate, or that didn't really feel in that infinite wave of energy. But when we put out that queen, that word queen, on an earthly level, that's when we really started to connect with our soul aligned clients. And that was, I guess that out of all the different beautiful names you can really divine feminine, goddess, priestess, queen, that would have been for me the last choice of wording that I would have chose personally on an earthly level. But it was very interesting that Krystallineascension was like, no, this is a queen frequency. And I just want to share that, because sometimes it is that earthly wording that we're just looking for to really match that frequency in alignment on an earth level. So that really solar dragon queen frequency, how can we really bring it down on an earth level? For myself, and I think for Eva too, we were really thinking that it had that goddess word, but really for us, it was that queen word that really anchored it in more to become really more potent. And then when we blended Creatrix Queen, that just had a really deep anchoring for Eva and I to embody that on an even further level. I think that is what really unleashed more of our purity, more of our truth within us when we started to use those words. So you'll be seeing more of those Creatrix Queen come out in our posts more, and this is the reason why, because it's really clicking in and it's anchoring into more in alignment with what we were trying to deliver out, I guess you could say. I don't know the words that I'm looking for right now, or weave that frequency.
Exactly. And it's really stepping into more of who we are. We like, the one thing that we were shying away from, or especially me, was the destroyer of truth. Like, that really was like, ooh, you're going to call yourself the destroyer of truth. But when you really bulk it down and you go down, that the destroyer of truth is just releasing all these illusions that we've been living with. And it's really going in and destroying that flame that we carried on for so long, and we held that legacy for so long, and for what, like, right? And stepping into being the flame of truth, right? And that's something that we really use, like you said, potently with all our clients, is really going into the truth flame.
Yeah, definitely. That's really important. But when you just spoke about flames, what has just dropped in as a reminder that after the Solar Dragon Queen frequency had been awakened, we were definitely intuitively guided to awaken and initiate our Solar Dragon King, almost effective immediately. So to bring in that support to that huge and massive Solar Dragon Queen frequency that came in, as I wrote it down really quickly here, support and protection, and also to bring in, extend and expand your team that's going to support you in this frequency. What else did I write down here? Sorry. It just came in. Oh, that between the Solar Dragon Queen and King, when Eva said flames, yes, you know how everyone talks about your twin flame. Well, this is really initiating, awakening, and embodying your inner twin flames and your inner sacred union inside. Your awakening and embodying your inner sacred union of your divine feminine and your divine masculine. So by doing this, I feel that you are able to access so much more of the higher dimensional frequencies, because you yourself, your masculine and feminine, is working within union now. So when you were talking about the flames, I just saw as a reminder of they're each holding, it's almost as if they were each holding a separate flame. But in order for it to become one big, huge, more powerful flame, they needed to be united and initiated as one now. And we found that this really King is really that beautiful, masculine support, and the one that is going to help you take that beautiful action. I'm glitching now. I'm excited talking about this. So Mom, if you want to continue.
Well, I think we're coming closer to are you there?
I'm still here.
Okay, still there. So after we received our initiation of Solar King, we were invited to Crystalline Ascension to really extend this invite out to others, because it's really an important mission to initiate this creatrix frequency within others, so that women can start really downloading bigger visions, like stepping into that bitch frequency or that leadership frequency, and really get that legacy and begin creating their own legacy. So if you want to carry on from there.
Yeah, and again, that's why we titled this boss bitch frequency, only to kind of speak on an earthly term. But however, for us, it really truly is the Solar Dragon Queen frequency. However, she is definitely united with her Solar Dragon King. She is not standing there alone. She has that support. She has that divine union. So we've really created that. We've really created a new offering with private immersions with us to initiate both the Queen and the King within, to really light up your inner queendom in that divine union, and for that inner queendom to really feel whole once again. So she's standing in there in her queendom, really, like we had spoke before, or Mom, you maybe have said before, where you're really lighting up that queendom now and ready to really expand those light frequencies and to create your legacy. So if this is speaking to you to really initiate your inner king and queen, do reach out to us with a simple private message, or email us, as September is starting to really fill up really quickly. And maybe, Mom, you want to share a little bit about why maybe September fills up really quickly?
I shared this before, but more and more people are saying the same thing. Like for me, September is my energy of a new year. I don't do the January 1st thing at all. It just never ever resonated for me. But what resonated for me was mid-September, late September, where I started honing in on what I want to create, what I want to manifest. And I know it's also harvest time. So it's really bringing in the harvest and almost like preparing for that hibernation in the next couple of months. But for me, September is a really powerful time to really become who I need to be, who I am, and really set out my intentions and my desires and my goals during the month of September.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. And you can already feel that new, different kind of energy starting to slowly come in. For us, we tend to start feeling into these new energies right before they kind of come in fully into the earthly level. But this is the bold energy that is showing up within us now and within Crystalline Ascension. So we invite you to stay tuned with us as we're going to be really flowing in this essence, the essence of unknown, but the essence of boldness in this solar dragon queen frequency, and to really step into that pure conduit for Crystalline Ascension and for our higher selves on a soul level and on our higher self on a human level, being all combined and working together as a beautiful new team of light, you could say, to really alleviate. Yeah, I don't know why I said that word, but that's the word that came out, but really elevate our inner queendom and our legacy. So that completes the call, I think, for the Sacred Soul Sparkles 3 for today. And we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Hold on, we're still live. I'm just going to see how this goes.